All right, y'all. Now we're going to talk about Corey Richens. It's that Utah lady that's allegedly the husband. And then she wrote the kids' book about it. What the flip? Y'all remember that? Crazy as hell. Steph Case Files in the house. Hey, what you doing? Oh, dang, they did all kinds of craziness. I don't even know how to pin stuff anymore. Oh, yeah, I do. Y'all give Steph Case Files right there. Give her a follow. She's awesome. Ooh, thanks for the little coggy. Damn, you're about to hit 100K too. Y'all, make sure you follow her. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Corey Richens. This lady is crazy. Oh, hold up. I'm going to switch the picture on TikTok too. Keep going.
A stunning new twist in the Corey Richens murder case. According to a recently unsealed search warrant, Richens allegedly asked another person about just weeks
Oh, hell. That's the stuff she allegedly gave the dude
before her husband's death. And it is all coming out in text messages that are now central to the investigation. There's just one problem. This witness, who apparently revealed this new information, won't be able to testify during her trial because he died. We're going to dive
Oh, hell. She make him a drink too?
into this shocking new development and more right now. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. As the high-profile case against Corey Richens moves towards trial next spring, we have a new update for you. You see, new details have come out that suggest Corey Richens allegedly asked a second person who worked for her to get her, which police believe she used to murder her husband Eric in 2022. The problem is, this new witness, whose testimony could have been pivotal for the prosecution's case, is not going to be able to take the stand. Why? He passed away 2 months ago. Now, before we even get into that, we got to
Oh my God.
get you up to speed on the case. So, Corey Richens, Utah mother of 3, was arrested in May of 2023 and is facing aggravated murder and attempted homicide charges for allegedly poisoning her husband, Eric Richens, who was found dead in their home, and also allegedly trying to poison him on a previous occasion.
Yeah,
now, the events leading up to Eric's death allegedly began in early March of 2022. According to court documents, Corey Richens and her husband were celebrating the sale of a home that she had worked to flip as a real estate agent. And on the night of March 3rd, 2022, she allegedly mixed a Moscow Mule cocktail for her husband. This is a drink that prosecutors later claim was spiked with a lethal dose of
Oh my God.
Authorities say after serving him the drink and a gummy, Richens reportedly went to bed. Now, at around 3 a.m., Corey says she wakes up to check on one of the children who is apparently having a nightmare. And when she gets to the bedroom that she shared with Eric, that's where she finds him unresponsive and she calls 911. Emergency responders, they show up. They find Eric Richens at the foot of the bed. They tried to revive him, but he was pronounced dead. Here's where things take a turn. An autopsy later reveals that Eric had 5 times the lethal amount in his system. And it wasn't medical grade. It was street level. Now, Corey Richens' defense team has suggested that perhaps Eric Richens overdosed on his own, that he was the one securing this. But that's a separate issue. Now, investigators say,
y'all, yeah, I have to censor it out for like every platform, but it rhymes with Clintifall.
No, she got from a convicted dealer named Carmen Marie Lauber, who was working as the Richens housekeeper. And she allegedly confessed to police that she gave Richens 15 to 30 pills on 2
yes, it rhymes with Blint to nail.
different occasions around 1 month before Eric died. And she says Corey paid her about $900 each time. Now, here's where things take a different turn.
Macaroni.
After her husband's death, Corey Richens publishes a book, a children's book called Are You With Me? And she claimed that this was intended to help her 3 sons deal with the loss of their father. And Richens promoted the book, including on a local media show, describing it as a way to help children understand and cope with grief. And the book was dedicated to Eric, and Richens spoke about her desire to share her journey with others. But prosecutors have a different take.
I hope one of these kids writes a book about her. Man, you crazy as hell. Dad went to heaven, Mama went to prison. Sounds like a damn country song. Didn't Garth Brooks write that one? Oh shit, Garth is going to jail too, apparently, or something crazy is happening with him too. Remember that? Oh my God.
They argue that Richens' public grieving may have all been part of an elaborate ruse to conceal her true motivations for her husband's death. So with all of that in mind, now let's talk about that search warrant that was unsealed. And it reveals that Corey Richens allegedly asked another person who worked for her to get her. William Hayden Jeffs, 35-year-old handyman who worked for Richens on various properties that she owned, allegedly told police that Richens had reached out to him asking if he could acquire, and this is an anesthetic. Now, Jeffs, here's the thing, he was interviewed by authorities earlier this year. He reportedly showed text messages from Richens that corroborated his story. And the warrant doesn't specify whether Jeffs actually supplied Richens with the, but it does confirm the request. And the timing of that is crucial because investigators have noted that other quote, acquaintances of Richens may have supplied her with, including the housekeeper. But here's the thing.
Hey, you crazy as hell. Kimberly, thank you.
Just as investigators were starting to piece together Jeff's account, he was tragically killed in a motorcycle accident in September. So with Jeffs no longer able to testify, his phone is now potentially a key piece of evidence. Problem with that, of course, is you're dealing with hearsay issues, right? Out of court statements. And the problem is can that come in? Does Corey Richens have an opportunity to cross-examine Mr. Jeffs? No. So although there are exceptions to the hearsay rule, particularly when you have a witness who is dead, is no longer available, we will probably see a back and forth between the prosecution and the defense on that. I will say, though, after Jeffs died, a judge had granted a search warrant to seize his phone, which is now in the custody of the police department. And by the way, talking search warrants, there is apparently another search warrant from the same day, and it seems to indicate that investigators believe there might be additional writings, maybe even journals or diaries from Richens inside of that home. And that seems to be connected, based on reporting, to comments that Corey Richens allegedly made in jail calls and messages, as well as statements from Eric's family. This is according to authorities. So it's not entirely clear what those statements are, what these writings might be, or how they even play into her criminal trial, but it's interesting nonetheless.
On the wall.
And by the way, I should tell you, earlier this month, a judge denied Corey Richens' second request to be released on bail.
Ultimately,
yeah, why the hell would you let that lady out on bail? That is crazy. By the way, TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. Keep tapping the screen like crazy, y'all. Let's get 25,000 likes and hit me with these dang hearts. Come on, y'all. We need 5 more. Support the show. Let's go.
the court is not persuaded.
Not persuaded.
While defendant no longer faces the risk of the death penalty, she now faces 2 first-degree felonies, each with a minimum sentence of 25 years to life, in which may be run consecutively, one after the other.
Consecutively?
As before, the severity of these sanctions, put plainly, of potentially dying in prison, creates a powerful incentive for defendant to harm herself or witnesses in this case, and to flee the jurisdiction of the court. And as before, substantial evidence supports the charge that defendant secured and deployed it to kill another person, which is inherently dangerous conduct.
Yeah.
Moreover,
Britt, right? You don't understand why people don't just get a divorce, right? The only problem is if she got divorced, she wouldn't get money, or she wouldn't get as much money as if he, because he was worth like $5 million, and she took out a life insurance policy. She took out all kinds of stuff that she thought she was going to get. Because she was like in debt. She was in debt like $3 million for her little business she was trying to start. She's like, I'm a realtor. And then she went $3 million in debt. Oops. That's not how you do that.
How dare you?
defendant's relationship to her children and her ongoing real estate businesses were, in June 2023, substantial connections to the
Holy hell, she looks like the chick from The Ring right there. Oh my God. Looks like her head's about to turn sideways. She's going to come crawling out of my computer.
The local community that mitigated the risk that she would flee. But now, in November of 2024, those anchors have been weakened substantially. The juvenile court has granted guardianship of Ms. Richens' children to members of Eric Richens' family, and through that guardianship, they are limiting Ms. Richens' contact with her children. And that circumstance is likely to persist in some form, even if Ms. Richens is released on bail. Given the extreme consequences that this case poses and the severe negative impacts that this case has had upon Ms. Richens' business and her relationship to her children, the court finds by clear and convincing evidence that there simply are not reasonably available means of mitigating her risk to the community and to herself, or
that means you staying in jail.
The strong incentive for her to flee the jurisdiction of the court. Defendant's motion to reconsider bail and conditions of release, docket 653, is respectfully denied.
He also granted a request from prosecutors to drop 2 second-degree felony charges of distribution of a controlled substance.
We are here on several motions. I don't have strong feelings about what order to do these in, but I have a proposal, if you'll hear me out for a moment. First, the state's motion to dismiss counts 3 and 4. Ms. Nestor, any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
And that is without prejudice, correct, Mr. Bloodworth?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. State's motion to dismiss counts 3 and 4, which is docket 703, is granted. Counts 3 and 4 in the third amended information are hereby dismissed without prejudice.
Oh, damn. Look, Lucky Shot, I live in Huber, Utah, in the same neighborhood as KR, and we're all still shocked, right? That is crazy.
To be clear, though, it was not exactly clear why those charges were dropped. We speculated about it on a previous sidebar, whether it was going to be a distraction for the jury, whether they didn't have enough evidence to prove those charges, whether they feel they have enough. But maybe it was something about it that they felt it was going to weaken their case. Not sure. Now, going back to this, regarding this latest update on attempting to acquire, the investigation into Eric Richens' death revealed a very troubling pattern as prosecutors alleged that Richens had made a previous attempt on her husband's life just weeks before his death. Valentine's Day 2022. Richens allegedly poisoned a sandwich that she had left for Eric and placed it in his truck for lunch. Now, the court...
Oh, man, you go burn in hell for that one, too.
Documents state that when Eric ate that sandwich, he became seriously ill, breaking out into hives. He reportedly took Benadryl, self-administered one of his son's EpiPens, and after he recovered, Eric had apparently called a friend saying, "I think my wife tried to poison me." And prosecutors claim that this failed attempt prompted Corey Richens to seek something stronger. And this, by the way, was revealed in an earlier pretrial hearing.
The defendant learned from the attempt and applied it
on Valentine's Day. It's crazy as hell.
To the homicide. And we see that with what the court just raised. She wanted something stronger. She learned that whatever she used on Valentine's Day,
that dude plays a lot of golf,
wasn't strong enough, which is why she went back and asked for something stronger. But she had a similar MO, right? You know, her MO is to go to the drug dealer, procure fentanyl, and
damn it, I forgot one of them. I missed one of them. That said Crintaspal.
3 days later, 4 days later, administer fentanyl. That is the same. The drug is the same. The drug dealer is the same.
Oh, hell.
The timing is the same. But she learned. She learned she needed something stronger. She also learned how to administer it. She learned that putting it in a sandwich where Eric Richens could take a bite, feel the effects, set the sandwich down, was not the proper way to administer a fatal dose of fentanyl.
And according to the prosecution's brief, Richens was able to get that
Sweet
something
baby
stronger
Jesus.
from her housekeeper, Carmen Lauber. This was revealed during a preliminary hearing where a detective testified to interviewing Lauber several times and determined that she had given Richens counterfeit pills.
In our interviews,
Counterfeit?
CL told us that in early 2022, the defendant reached out to her either by phone call or text message requesting that she procure for what the defendant reported was a investor who had a back injury.
And upon the defendant asking CL to get, what did CL do?
CL told us that she reached out to an acquaintance of hers, acquaintance one, and requested
Oh, hell. Sin, thank you.
that she introduce her to somebody that could sell her.
Oh, God.
Did acquaintance one introduce CL to someone that could sell CL?
Yes, CL said that acquaintance one provided her with a phone number of another acquaintance, acquaintance two, who
Oh, man.
was someone that she knew could sell CL.
And did CL say that she ultimately contacted acquaintance two?
Yes, she did.
What, if anything, did CL say about purchasing from acquaintance two?
CL told us that she contacted acquaintance two after receiving his phone number and asked to arrange to meet to purchase some from him. She stated that sometime in February, she believed she met up with acquaintance two at a Maverick gas station in Draper and purchased from him 15 to 30 round green-blue pills, which she understood to be.
Oh, my God.
Using phone records through the course of your interview with CL, were you ultimately able to narrow down on what that date was in February that CL purchased from acquaintance two at the Maverick in Draper?
Amy,
Yes,
thank you.
based on forensic evidence, we were able to determine that that date was February 11th, 2022.
However, Corey Richens' defense team says no drugs were found inside the couple's home following Eric's death.
Were any illegal found in the home that night?
so.
So no.
So she couldn't have done it because they didn't find anything left? What the hell? All she had to do would be like, oh, well, he's not waking up. Let me take all this and just do. Oh. Oh, man. Did everything just get flushed? That's crazy. I can't believe that happened. How did that happen?
No.
Not that I'm aware of.
Were there any unidentified pills, like green pills, blue pills, dark green pills, anything like that found in the home the early morning of March 4th?
I don't believe so.
Nothing was found or seized the early morning of March 4th that included. Is that correct?
No fentanyl was seized that I'm aware of.
Oh, damn it. I forgot and I missed another one.
All right.
They also argued the possibility that this housekeeper lied, and she lied for a reason.
Does CL have a criminal history?
Yes.
Is she under supervision in a different county, a county other than Summit County?
Yes, she is.
And is that in relation to certain charges?
Yes.
What, if any, promises did you make regarding, or to CL regarding her cooperation with being interviewed?
CL was not made any specific promises,
Yes,
but
it is.
at the outset of our interviews, we explained to her that her cooperation in our investigation would result in us working with the prosecutors that were responsible for the charges she was facing.
So essentially, the defense pointed out that this housekeeper was in some trouble of her own with drug-related offenses, that she's not credible, that her cooperation, even if she lied, could help her potentially escape that trouble. And so you're kind of seeing a little bit of back and forth between the prosecution and the defense, a preview to what will be argued at a trial. Now, a month after Richens' alleged attempt, she reportedly added a lethal dose of the Moscow Mule that would ultimately kill her husband. And as I've said many times here on Sidebar, you don't have to prove motive to get a conviction for these kinds of crimes. It's not an element of it, but it's something juries and those of us observing these trials, we would like to know. It's easier for a prosecutor to sell a story if you can provide the why. So what is the why? What is the alleged motive here? Well, prosecutors allege, they argue that...
Let me guess. It's dinero. By the way, TikTok, hit that follow button if you're new here. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, we're live every single night. Come on in, hit the follow button. Come over to YouTube if you guys want to watch the video with us. The Mystery Project on YouTube. I'm allergic to new subscribers. Come on, y'all. And YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button and and hit the subscribe button. That's the words I'm trying to say. All right, let's continue.
Corey Richins had both financial and personal motives to kill Eric. Court documents reveal that at the time of his death, Eric Richins was worth reportedly about $5 million. Meanwhile, Corey was in severe financial trouble. Court documents reveal that she owed more than $3 million, including substantial debts tied to her business of flipping houses. According to prosecutors, Richins had also taken out a $250,000 line of credit without Eric's knowledge, had forged his signature to do so. And prosecutors further alleged that Richins had opened life insurance policies totaling nearly $2 million on her husband in January of 2022, 2 months before he died. And those policies, according to prosecutors, were allegedly opened without Eric's knowledge. And prosecutors claim that she believed she would inherit his estate based on the terms of a prenuptial agreement. However, apparently, in secret, Eric had placed much of his estate into a trust under his sister's name.
Yeah.
So the argument is, with mounting debts, threat of financial collapse, problems in their marriage, prosecutors say Corey saw Eric's death as a way to solve her problems. Prosecutors wrote in a filing, quote, her bank accounts were exhausted and she was spiraling toward total financial collapse. And as the investigation into Eric Richins' death unfolded, authorities discovered several potentially incriminating pieces of evidence. Forensic analysis of burner phones used by Corey apparently revealed troubling searches, including women Utah prison, can deleted messages be retrieved from an iPhone, can FBI find deleted messages, and what is a lethal dose of...
Oh my God. Thanks for the follows, y'all.
Prosecutors...
Amy, thanks for the dinosaurs. Y'all hit me with some little tiny dinies.
Also alleged that she researched how long does life insurance take to pay, and if someone is poisoned, what does it go down on the death certificate as?
Why the hell else would you search that stuff, y'all? Like, what would be the reason for searching any of that?
These searches, they say, are indicative of her awareness of the possible consequences of her actions and her efforts to cover her tracks. Now, as I mentioned, Corey Richins, even though 2 charges were dropped, she is still facing some very serious charges, a total of 9 charges, including aggravated attempted criminal homicide, insurance fraud, several counts of forgery and mortgage fraud, although those mortgage fraud charges and forgery charges, they're going to be tried separately from the murder charges. But she has pled not guilty to all of the charges involved in her case. And right now, her trial is scheduled to start April 28th, and if convicted, she could spend the rest of her life in prison.